should.
Music is not coming.
Are we live?
Yeah.
Yeah, we are live.
Okay. I think it will come.
Music is not coming.
Yes, I'm working on it.
Yeah.
Yeah, we are live.
I'm working on it.
Yeah, I've joined this guy just now. Now, what is my number? My number 7, is it? Music is not coming.
Yes,
Yeah.
I'm working on it.
Yeah, I've joined this guy just now. Now, what is my number?
If you don't have the music, we can actually go on because there's something showing the problem.
Okay, I think there's some technical issues.
Yep.
Okay.
I think we can carry on. Yep.
Yeah, sure. Okay. Okay, hello everyone. Ishita here and welcoming you all to the online talk show Let's Talk, Let's Connect, presenting the 3rd International Youth Summit. So today here we're here with another impact session, and you already know the name of the session, right? So today's session on Express to Impress. So today we're going to talk about the science and arts of public speaking. And we're really honored to have special guest among us who is really expert on this field. So dear audience, let's welcome our special guest, Mr. Jamaluddin Jami. He is the director from the Career Service Office, Southeast University. And not only that, he is also a public speaker, career coach, and he is also involved with the Toastmasters. So I'm not gonna share all the details here right now. We love to know more details from our guest as well. So dear audience, and thank you so much for being with us here. We are also having with us Mr. Ahmed Bari from Was New Zealand. So before going to our guest, I would like to request our lovely audience, please share this live session on your timeline, because today again you have the opportunity to win the training manual as a gift. So to win that gift, what you have to do? You just need to share this live on your timeline and make sure it must be public on your privacy setting, so that whenever our team goes to your profile, they can check it out. Yes, it's there. And definitely give your full concentration from the very beginning, as we are going to share the 4-digit code, which you have to collect the 4 digits to claim your gift whenever you are going to fill in the Google form. So please don't forget about that. And final thing, please take your pen and paper with you so that you can list up your today's learning as well. And last but not the least, of course, ask your question so that our guest can answer you. Okay, so let's welcome our special guest, Mr. Jamaluddin Jami. So I'm going to request him to please give a short introduction to our lovely audience. Thank you so much for joining with us.
Good evening, everyone, and my dear,
yes.
Am I audible, right?
It is, yeah.
And my favorite, Bari Bhai, thank you very much for inviting me, and Ishita for your lovely and wonderful introduction. That was fabulous. I mean, you have created the momentum for me,
Yes.
for the audience to talk and to learn. To talk about myself, I've been working for a university named Southeast University as a director of career and professional development services. As you have already talked about, that I am involved in training, career coach, career consultant, public speaker. Yes, I'm involved with Toastmasters International. I am president of Bangladesh Youth Toastmasters Club, as well as area L5 director under District 41, that is India, Bangladesh, Nepal, and Bhutan. So I'm area L5 director. So yes, I am involved with the largest platform in the world. We call it Toastmasters International. This is the platform where you can practice, where you can develop your communication, leadership, and public speaking skills. So from that experience, of course, I'll be talking. I do have practical experience of giving a speech in front of large number of audience. Yes, I as I visited most of the divisions of Bangladesh, and I have talked with more than 80,000 plus people. And whenever I talked, I gathered experience. I know what should be the trigger that
Yes.
will work as a catalyst to improve yourself. So I'll be talking from that as well. So that is basic introduction of me. I'm a writer, so I do write. Yes, I have written some books, and one of the I mean, best-selling books. It's called Presentation Skills. And last year, I have published one book that is Communication Skills. If anybody is interested to collect the books there on online, I mean in rockamari.com, so you may collect from there as well.
Thank you. Thank you
Thank
so
you.
much. Okay, so now it's time to go back to again Mr. Ahmed Bari. So I would like to request you to please highlight on today's session. Please give us the brief
Okay. Thank you,
about our
Ishita. Thank you. Yeah, thank you so much. It's been lovely to see both of you. And I'm very much excited that I'm not a public speaker, but I'm a trainer. So I picked the best in the country to present international, and he is one of the best. And we are working for a long time. It's more than 5, 6 years almost. And I can recommend he's one of the best public speaker, trainer, and coach for everyone. If you have any plan to do it, and obviously we're going to, I think he runs some online training. So as we have the international audience here, you can also contact with him, surely via us, or you can also directly contact with him, and I'm sure that you love it. And I just have we have so many requests to conduct a session on public speaking that we cannot stop bring this to today or tonight here. I'm sure that you'll be knowing the fact inside and outside how to become a public speaker, good public speaker, and surely we will discuss the stage fear. I think many of have the stage fear. Also, I think the voice and vocal that we call like elevation and practicing this are few tips and tricks he will show, and how when you combine the science, we present this one as a science because when you combine the rules or the fact or the tools, and then you can have a beautiful presentation. That's the art. So I'm sure that the presenter today will share that tools, and then you after that he will also show you how this will help you to become an excellent public speaker. But before that, I also remind you just that the today's training session will be mindfulness. It is a very important training manual. Surely you must follow the whole session, and in between the session we're going to give you the number, so 4-digit code that you must mention as as the way we're going to say. But do not share this number in your comments box, because if you share that, we're going to ban you. So do remember. And one more thing, that don't get excited about the assignments, assessment. Many of you already done assessment, and we're gradually publishing the result. But the result doesn't mean that you already completed everything successfully. We're just checking whether how many percent, what are the problem you have. Then when we reopen the assessment, you can actually change. And finally, the next exciting training session is coming on 26th. It's on goal setting. I'm sure you will join us. Thank you so much. Back to Ishida.
Okay, thank you so much. Thank you so much, Mr. Hamid Bari. Okay, so dear lovely audience, as I can see that, yeah, the number of the audience is increasing for them,
Excellent.
whoever just joined. So for all of you, just I want to mention once again. So our today's special impact session is on express to impress. So today we are going to talking about science and arts of public speaking. So definitely you are most welcome to ask your question here in the comment box, because we want it should be both way interaction. It's not like that just our guest will be speaking and you will listen. So we want you all to ask the question. So guys, get ready and keep asking your question. Drop the questions in the comment box. And again, for the new audience who just now who joined, yes, today you are having the opportunity to win the training manual on improving mindfulness. So to win that gift, please give your full concentration so that you can collect the 4-digit code. So all those digits you will need to fill in the Google form. So please stay with us and enjoy the session. Okay, so I think hopefully by the time we will get lots of questions in the comment box. So now it's time to going back to our guest once again. So, Baya, I would like to ask you, as we know that you are working on this area and very much successful you were. So, what you will suggest one person, because we are getting lots of demand regarding this topic that they want a session on public speaking. So, what will be your focus point to be a public speaker? What one should do, or what are the skills they need to develop?
Okay, thank you very much. Basically, whenever we receive any kind of invitation to give a talk, to give a speech, whatever the place, that doesn't matter. So we try to take in consideration few things like who are my audience, what their need. Based on that, we prepare ourselves. And if those who are here, those who want to develop your public speaking skills here, for your point, whenever you take preparation to give a talk in front of any audience, you need to consider three things. Number one, what you know well. Number two, what you love most. You are passionate about that. And number three, what your audience care about. So if your presentation or speech, the combination of these three, yes, you are going to rock. The thing is, today I'm here, fine. I'm a public speaker and I do train public speaking. And I'm involved in presentation and Toastmasters International. So I know my thing that, okay, I love public speaking. I know everything, like already our Bari Bhai mentioned two things, that voice modulation and fear. Of course, I'm going to talk about that. But other thing I don't know about, my audience. Are you here to develop your public speaking? If that clicks, that means you are in a right place, and I'm in a right place to talk about public speaking skills. So in that case, yes, whatever the questions you have, ask here, and I'm here to answer if time permits. So regarding your
Yes.
public speaking presentation, slide making, talk, fear, glossophobia, whatever the things. So I'd like to start with a particular thing, as already Ishita mentioned, that the session should be more interactive, not one-way talk. So let's
Yeah.
make our session more interactive. I'd like to ask a question. Just write down here. How many
Yeah.
of you heard the term glossophobia? Just write down yes, yes. How many of you heard the term glossophobia?
Okay, dear audience, you
Okay,
can write down in the comment box. How many of you heard about glossophobia?
fine. Uh,
Yes,
if
a
you
lot.
know about glossophobia, you can write down here what is the meaning of glossophobia as well. Glossophobia. Okay, just I am breaking it down. Glossophobia. You might have heard the term phobia. Phobia means okay, fear of anything. Glosso means okay, fear of gun or something like that. I don't know. I don't know
Yeah.
about that. So write down. I need some answers. Ishita, if anybody
Yes.
writes down here,
Yeah.
give
Yeah.
Okay,
They.
I can
Yes.
see.
Exactly. Yeah. Heard this first time? Yes. No.
okay, yes,
No.
no, yes, no.
Yeah. I
Okay,
don't know.
whoever already knew about that, can you please write down that what's the meaning you know about that? Speech anxiety, once already
Yeah.
mentioned it.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Fear on public
yeah.
speaking.
Fear of public speaking. Okay, that's great. Okay.
Pone
Thank
Kadar.
Sure, sure. We have that international participants, so I'm really glad, and we're just reaching to 500. Fantastic, yeah. So this means it's a huge
That's great.
demand on public
Okay.
speaking.
So I'm
Yeah,
closing up. Thank you very much for your answer. Yes, glossophobia means fear of public speaking. That might be one-to-one talk, like you are in an interview board for winning a job. So you do have that inertia, that you do have some kind of fear, that nervousness. We call it glossophobia. If you are in front of 200, people or 2,000 participants, and you are giving a talk, and you do have that fear of public speaking. This kind of dryness inside your mouth or forehead, sweating and handshaking, nervousness, and you're forgetting whatever you have. So if you have this kind of symptoms, you do have that glossophobia. And today, yes, at the end of the session, I'm going to give you the clue how can you overcome this glossophobia. So if you really want to learn the techniques to overcome your glossophobia, be with us till the
yeah.
end. So we'll
And
be learning on
Exactly.
so already
excellent.
Thank
I have shared one thing, that is, you can still note it down, that okay, before you go anywhere, try to pick a subject. So how can you select a subject or topic to talk? Yes, that should be combination of three things. Number one, what you know well, you are pro version of that. Number two, what you love, you're passionate about that. And number three, what your audience cares about. So if your topic or subject is the combination of these three things, yes, you are going to rock. So you do have everything to give. So if you can prepare yourself based on these three, yeah, wonderful thing. Do you have any questions or other things, or I
Yes.
want to move on?
Yeah, we are getting already lots of questions. So thank you. It's such a nice way you have described. So dear audience, already our guest shared the 3 points. Hope it's going to be workable for you. So keep it with you and keep the notes.
Ishita, with
Yes.
permission, can I
Yeah.
ask a question?
Yeah,
Sure,
sure,
Because at
sure,
sure,
this
sure.
point,
sure,
first
sure.
let us question, and then we'll go for the audience.
Yeah,
So
exactly.
I have seen that everyone wants to be a public speaker. Is it the right approach? Should it be the right approach to that? I want to be a public speaker. I want to be a public speaker. Something like, is it a passion, or is it like a fame, or what kind of things they are think that become by being a public speaker? Um, how why who should be the public speaker? Should everyone be public speaker, or what is your opinion about this?
My first thing, this is mandatory skill for everyone. Not as a public speaker. It doesn't mean that you need to talk in front of 2,000 participants,
Yeah,
but you need to know how to express yourself, because you want to
exactly.
impress. Like if you work as a salesperson, you need to impress your, audience. You need to impress your buyer. So you need to express. You need to have that ability to express in front of the audience. If you want to win an interview, of course you need to express
You need
yourself,
to
and the
express
public
exactly.
speaking skills helps you to
Yeah,
express
yeah,
yourself.
exactly. Actually,
Yeah.
so it's mean that everyone should have the capacity or the capability or the skill of doing the public speaking, but it doesn't matter that you have to speak in front of 1,000 people, or it should be in front of the stage, right? Yeah. Okay, that's my question. Thank you.
If you have that additional skills, like to talk in front of 200, 300, 500, that will give you extra mileage. Like for
Of
me,
course.
for my professional career, okay, when in my early stage I started my career, I didn't have that much opportunity to talk. That much job responsibility to give talk in front of the participants. But as I was involved with debate club, so I had the basic things of giving talk in front of the audience. So after my joining, within 1 month, I got the opportunity to anchor a program. So when I took that opportunity, I grabbed it, and I performed in a way that everybody started knowing me from top to bottom. So this is a
Exactly.
kind of a skill that in your professional life you can sell yourself. If
Yeah.
Yeah,
your bosses know you, who you are, and you do have that certain skills, of course, that add value.
exactly.
Exactly. Okay, thank you. So we are having lots of questions in the comment box. So the first question I'm going to take, the question came from Zanat. She said that when we stand up floor for any public speaking, an unknown fear tries to stop us or tries to disturb us. How we can remove this fear? So over to
That's right.
Jim.
Yeah, technically and intentionally, she was asking the answer of my question that I wanted to
Last,
address.
which is going to last. Yes,
Yeah.
exactly.
Yeah, it's okay.
Okay.
No worry, no worry. The first thing you need to do is to prepare well. So practice,
Yeah,
practice, practice.
of
Once you
course.
are prepared, what you are going to deliver, yes, you'll be able to overcome your fear and nervousness. But if you do not know what is in your next slide, of course you'll be nervous. But if you know
Exactly.
ins and outs, if you can practice, if you can rehearse, we call it minimum. I mean, what we do in our university life, that whole night we prepare our slides. And next day, in our presentation day, we are not that much prepared. We
Yes.
don't know uh, what are in my slides. So what
Slides.
happens?
Yeah.
Just we start reading the slides, and one time we do not maintain that body language, eye contact, gesture,
Yeah.
expressions, and a lot of things are involved as a public speaker. If you want to win, we do not know
Yeah.
them. So once you prepare your slides well ahead and you rehearse on that minimum 6 times with in front of mirror, you video record that and you practice, of course, you will be able to overcome your fear. And we do have a lot more techniques, and I'm going to talk about that at the end, of course. There are three more,
Okay.
so I'll be talking about them. No worry. Keep
Sure.
just in touch with us.
Actually, I
Yes.
think yeah, you have said the excellent thing that most of the time people actually have beautiful slide, but they don't know what the next slide is. So
Yeah.
this is I found so many times in the presentation that they have no and always like they're reading the slide, which is completely against of the rules of public speaking. Like you cannot show your back to the audience and just go, but you can do, but in a different way, different style, something like that. So Ishita, back to you. If you have any question, I from
Yeah,
the
there
audience.
are lots of questions.
I think the
Yeah.
most are question the fear. Most of them are talking about the
Yeah.
fear.
So, dear audience, as our guest already told that yes, stay with us to get rest of the points. Don't leave. If you leave, then you are gonna lose. So
Yeah.
stay with us. And the next question. Next question from Ritu. Without a script, I can't speak properly in public. But in my head, I have lots of sentence. But I couldn't deliver that in that time. What should I do?
Uh, Ritu, thank you very much for your question. That was a wonderful question, actually.
Yeah.
We do have the same kind of problem, like those who do write scripts. Thank you that you can write your script before your talk, or else you could be like our political leaders, especially from subcontinent, that without preparation they just give talk, and that should not be. They just waste people's time. That should not be. So once you prepare yourself, you can write the script for your talk. You are giving value of people's time, as well as you are serious about your next step. So your
Yes.
first thing done. Now the second thing, you need to prepare, you need to rehearse. Fine. What happens usually, we do not have a place to talk, place to practice. If I ask you how many days in a month you do practice, you give talk, it's not possible. We do not have that platform to talk. So first thing, to become a public speaker or a good presenter, you need to practice on a regular basis. If you ask me
Yeah.
how many days in a month I do talk, yes, I'm talking about in a week. Yes, minimum 4 days in a week I give talk. I prepare, I do write a script, I prepare, and I give talk. When I give talk, I receive constructive feedback. Yes, I'm talking about Toastmasters International. So you need a platform where you can talk. An international platform is there, Toastmasters International. Once you are involved with that, of course, you will be able to give your talk. And once you give talk,
Yeah.
you can receive feedback based on your talk. So you need to
Exactly.
prepare yourself. You will receive feedback. From this constructive feedback, you can develop. So this is a cumulative process, not one-way process that, okay, once in a month, once in a year, you are delivering your speech and you are expecting that you'll be able to develop. No, it's not possible. So continuously, you need to practice, and you need a platform where you can do so, and where you can have your mentors. They will give you feedback. Based on that feedback, you can actually rectify yourself and improve on a continuous basis.
Yeah.
Exactly. So I just like to add here, just for everyone, because
Sure.
I'm going to have the next session after 1 week, and you know that from the last 2 weeks, I'm just taking the preparation, even though I know what I'm going to do. But it's a preparation is everything. You don't have if you don't have preparation, you'll be blundered. You'll be in front of the presentation or in front of the audience, you'll be blundered. So even though we are in the training business for 20 years, 25 years, still before each session I take preparation. So this is very important. And just before that, when we are working the backstage, actually Ishita said that you are a very good debater, you can bring the logic. This is what actually, not that I love the logic, but it inbuilt with me that I know how to present the things in logically. So this is very important thing. So practice is very important thing. Thank you, Jamal, for it's a very good idea. Thank you so much. Yeah. Next, Ishita.
Okay. So before taking the next question, dear audience,
Ishita,
it is
Ishita, before we take our next question,
yes,
Yeah.
let's because people will be asking from behavioral, point of view, because
yeah,
when they
Yeah.
face this kind of problem, but from the
Mm.
content, we need to cover that things. So
yeah,
side by
sure.
Okay.
side, you ask me what should I cover. Like Bari Bhai in the beginning mentioned voice modulation. Yes,
Yeah.
let's talk about that. Before I talk about that part, you may just take one question at this moment.
Sure.
Okay, sure. Okay, so before taking the next question, it is time to disclose the first digit to claim your training manual. So, dear audience, are you ready to take the first digit? So, the first digit is 4. So, first digit is 4. Okay?
And I just see that four in the like now at this moment we have 444 people are watching just now. When you say
Yeah,
four,
that
it was
was,
all
yeah,
four four
it
four. You see that, right? It's a
Yeah,
fantastic
it
magic
was
number.
now. Yeah, now again
Excellent.
increased.
Okay.
Yeah. Okay. So,
Yeah.
but dear audience, don't share the code in the comment box. Please keep it with yourself. Okay. Okay.
Okay.
So, okay. Before that, we are going to just take the next question. Okay, I got the lovely question. The question from Tasmia. She has that when I start to speak, sound of my voice becomes slow every time. What can I do?
Wow, that is the topic I wanted to
Yeah.
cover. Voice modulation.
Yes.
Fine. Thank you, Jisa, for your wonderful question. What happens? Yes, we do have same kind of problems because we are not habituated of giving talk. So whenever we want to talk, and if we have that glossophobia, sometimes we loss of voice, it's a sign of glossophobia. So how can we overcome this? What I did. Uh, Before I came to this industry, in training industry, I prepared myself in certain places. Like I did have problems with Bengali pronunciation. I had problems with English pronunciation. So I went different places to develop. For Bengali pronunciation, I went to Dhaka University TSC area, as I was a student of Dhaka University. So I know
Yeah.
that place very well. So I got admitted. Even I became the deputy director of a private university. But I went back there. I sat on a floor in the field, and I
Yeah.
learned. I learned certain things, how to work with my sargam. Sa re
Mhm.
ga ba pa dha. I mean the scaling. So voice modulation, you need to practice on that. Like there are three parts of our voice, vocal part. That is, we call it lower pitch, middle pitch, upper pitch. In Bengali, we call it udara mudara tara. Wonderful thing, yes, to talk about that.
Yeah.
So different parts of your pitch. So if you can practice with these parts of your pitch, yes. If you do practice on a regular basis, what I did every day, I used to read out poems from Nuzrul, like Bidrohi. I mean, with that loud voice. If you do so, yes, that becomes your habit, and you do not have any problem with your vocal, voice. Even when you talk, vocal variety or voice modulation, very important part to connect your audience. Like if I give a talk with a monotonous tone, that cannot connect my audience well. See, when I'm talking, I'm giving my force with my right hand, even I'm changing my that pitch. That means I'm connecting with you in a way
Yep.
that I'm sharing a story with you. I mean, that vocal variety or voice modulation, wonderful part. If you want to connect your audience, that through this voice modulation, we can do so. So it is very
Yes.
important part. And if you can practice on a regular basis, like outside of your home, sargam and other things, of course
Yeah.
you can do so. And
Yeah.
whenever you
Yeah. Thank you.
feel,
Mm.
yeah,
No, let's carry on. You want? Yeah, sure.
uh,
So I'm just again just to give the supplement to everyone that
yeah,
when
please.
we are starting that I used to do the debate. So what I do, like I have to, like, it was like that time buying a small recorder for voice recorder is 2000, 2050. It was huge money when I was just a student, but that was our dream, and we like saved the money to buy, and then we just record our voice and just listen how I'm doing. And so it is very important that a preparation, and you have to be very passionate about this. I saw, like, you want to become a public speaker, but you don't want to give your hard labor for that. So it should be like, it should not be like that. So you, if you want to become a successful public speaker, you must have all these tips and tools that we are discussing. When you actually, three things are very important. That's the body language, your tone, and the words. So pick the right words, use the right tone, and use the body language. Then it will be a complete package. Okay, thank you. Ishita, back to you.
Okay, thank you. Thank you so much. Yeah, thank you, dear audience. I can see lots of lovely questions. So, which one should take? Which one should I take first? Okay, so before taking the question, I can see in the comment box, dear audience, why did you share the digits? It's not a good thing, right? We requested you not to share the digit on the comment box, because you know the gift is only for those person who are just watching live right now, because you are giving your time, you are investing your time, energy, and you are giving the effort to learn something new.
Exactly.
So we wanted to
Exactly.
reward you only, not the others who will watch later. Okay,
Yep.
so keep the code with you. Please don't share the code in the comment box. Okay. So the next question, another interesting question for our guest. The question from Umme Habibanur. When I speak in my presentation, sometimes my friends make funny face sitting in front of me. How can I ignore that?
Yes.
That might be intentional because they do not
Yeah.
want to let you perform better, so that you can get more marks. So just
Mhm.
ignore them. But yes, ignoring this thing is a very vital thing for a good public speaker. Uh, I can share one experience from me. In 2017, I was in a stage from KIB, and one of the renowned public speaker was, yeah, on the same stage. So at one point, I found that that public speaker went direct argument with a particular audience regarding question answering session. So once you have the, I mean, experience or techniques to handle difficult types of audience, yes, there will be
Yeah.
some people in front of you, they will be making a lot of mockery, fun,
Mhm.
sometimes very tricky questions to just embarrass you. If you are really habituated handling these things, you are a good public speaker. So what happens, yes, wonderful techniques. How can you receive uh, that question and answer that question? You might you might not know the answer of that particular question, but how can you handle this type of audience? Yes, wonderful thing, wonderful tricky thing. That, see, when I'm receiving the questions, I am giving a thanks to that particular person. This is first
Yes.
technique. I mean, when you receive, see, like I do have 2000, I had 1000 participants in KIB in 2017, and when I was
Mhm.
giving talk, there were some questions, and one person was asking question from one corner, and if I was involved to answer that particular question, there was a chance, because he had that microphone, the chance to add supplementary questions or argue with me. But the technique is, I received that questions. I said him, thank you very much for asking that questions. Now you may sit down. Fine. When he sat down, I repeat the question for the whole auditorium. Now his particular question became the question for everyone. Now I'm answering the question for everyone. I'm not busy with that one person. Rather, I'm busy with everyone. And
Everyone. Yeah.
that question became my point and my learning part of my learning. Materials. Now I'm answering. So see, technique first. Acknowledge that person. Thank you very much for asking the question. Have a seat. Now you repeat the question for everyone. Start answering that question. So once you answer the questions, yes, you are avoiding actually one-to-one interaction, any kind of altercation, or and also you are caring other part of the audience, not one person, 999 persons in the room.
Yeah.
So this is the technique. So you need to know certain techniques, and if you see that that particular friend is creating problem, so don't look at her, look at someone else, or you can ask that person a tricky question so that she or he becomes engaged with you to answer that
Yeah.
particular tricky question. So try to learn certain things so that you can ease up the whole scenario when you conduct a session.
Yeah. May I supplement?
Yeah, sure.
So my way is to say that yes, exactly the last one. I will just say you have to engage with the audience who have creating some sort of mockery or anything they're doing. So the good thing, one of the good things I do, like if someone making just like if it's friend, so you actually give a laugh like a laughter back to them, and actually that makes them like uncomfortable because you are taking. So actually whatever you do, the best thing is to just practice and practice and practice, because this is what I must say again to everyone, that Toastmaster is the platform where you can go and you can have the demo session. You can present in front of others who are not going to judge you, but give you the confidence that you can handle any kind of audience. And as we said that before, that body language, tone, and words are very important. So must focus on these things, choosing the right words, and then the tone, in which tone, volume you are actually pitching your speech, and then finally the, like you see that I'm just using my, this is our body language, so that people like, so the number one is word, number two is two, and number three is body language. So this is the way people actually remind or remember better way. So use the body language. And finally, the one of the important things that just Jami mentioned, that eye contact. You must have a proper eye contact in the whole audience, and whenever the audience give you any question, of course must be you say thank you so much for this question. Okay, back to you, Ishita. Thank you.
Okay, thank you so much. So I'm getting lots of questions, dear audience. Thank you so much
Can
for
we disclose the
responding.
second digit, or you want
Yes,
to?
we will disclose the second digit. But before that, I just would like to mention, because we are getting lots of questions, like they started maybe the speaking, then within 2 and 3 minutes they are getting the fear, or sometimes their body is shaking. They
Yep.
get puzzled. So, dear audience, for all of you who are having this sort of question, please stay with us, because our guest told that he is going to share few special things to
Yeah.
overcome your glossophobia, so that you can come to know about that tips. So stay with us. Hopefully we are going to share those tips with you very soon. And before
Yeah.
taking the next question, the second digit for all of you to claim your training manual on improving mindfulness, the second digit is 3. Okay, so the second digit is 3. Once again, please don't share in the comment box. Keep it with yourself. Okay. So the next question we are going to take. Okay. It's another lovely question from Anamika. Sometimes I feel like I am an extrovert and I can express myself easily. But sometimes I feel I can't talk in front of public and I feel shy. So how can I understand myself? Over
Okay.
to Swami Bhai.
That is kind of life coaching related question. So Baribhai is the right person to answer that question. Yes,
Yeah.
I learned it from Baribhai as well. First, you need to know what type of personality type you have. So
Yeah.
there are certain psychometric testing.
Mm.
Yes, easy, available, free of cost. You can do DISC, or you can do MBTI personality type of
Yeah. Myers
testing.
Briggs.
So
Yeah.
yeah, exactly. So if you know
Mm.
your personality type, based on that you can work on. Yeah, but for public speaking, as I mentioned earlier, that everybody needs to become public speaker. Public speaker means at least you needs to have the basic way of expressing yourself in front of the audience, in front of your colleagues, in front of your boss. See, the same thing. I mean, for becoming good public speaker, it's not like that you need to become public speaker and train people. No, it is important for your one-to-one communication with your boss as well. The same thing I present, that gets approval, but the same thing my colleague presents, and that doesn't get approval. I mean,
Yes.
the way we negotiate, the way we present, the way we articulate, the way we
Mm.
convince our boss, that matters. And that matters. And if you want to become successful in your career, of course, you need to become very good communicator, wonderful
Yep.
orator, good convincing power you must have. So, I mean, that public speaking give you will give you that mileage. But if you may add on life skill related questions here.
No, thank you. I just want to add
Sure.
one thing that that is like as you said that it doesn't matter whether you are introversion or extroversion. I'm not saying introvert or extrovert. Please do remember this thing. Now we that this is very important. Things are changing. People need to be changed. People need to understand that change is the permanent. There is nothing is permanent unless the change. So used to we say that he is introvert, he is extrovert, but now we are changing the word to say that he is extroversion, he is introversion. That's mean it is a kind that you can also be an introversion, or you can, or it's a kind of it's a type that you can be an extroversion, you can be an introversion, doesn't matter, but you can be a public speaker. So it, like I can say one thing, like many people think that Zanatun is an extroversion, but she is a completely introversion. So with like in front of when she comes to the live, that every you will see that she's smiling, she's that's rocking and everything. And even when she on the stage, she will rock. But when she need to be an introversion, she has all this element to remain herself being an introversion. So one of the main difference, I would rather say that extroversion is like I am a kind of extroversion. I just talk, 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 talk. I love to talk, but that doesn't mean that I have to be a public speaker. I don't like the public speaking, but I respect because it is very important. Public speaking, like not the stage one. I say that the public speaking is very important. The way I said that in when we say something to our boss or our board, they actually approve us. When we send other people to talk, they fail. So this is what we need for your career development. It's not that you become a public speaker to speak in front of 1,000 people, or to become a trainer to train other people. If you can combine all those things, that's also fine. That's not a problem. But public speaking is very important to being a excellent leader. So this is very important, and I think that's it at this moment. So you need the again practice, practice, practice. This is the best thing to do to become a successful public speaker. You need the practice. That, and no matter whether you are extroversion or introversion, you can change in any moment, just like this, if you have the practice. Okay, Ishita, back to you.
Okay, thank you. Thank you so much. Okay, lots of questions. Yes, it's time to take the next question. I got another fantastic question from Jackie. Okay, so the question is a bit vague.
Oh.
No worries. As an English teacher, I am to speak out before my students in my class. I believe I can speak English well, as I have been in teaching profession over the last 8 or 9 years. But the most disgusting thing that I face is about my poor pronunciation. What should I do to improve my pronunciation skill to a large extent? Over to Jami
talk
Bhaiya.
to talk to Jami. Talk to Jami. He is
Yes,
the best.
because he
He
is
is
the
the best.
expert on this.
He is the expert on this. Yes.
Should I
Yeah.
sell my course and books?
Yes,
Sure.
of course.
Why not?
Because I know you are the best in pronunciation. I know because I worked with you, so I know that you are the best in pronunciation. No doubt about this. Okay, so give some
Zakir
tips.
Zakir Bhai, what you can do, you can just order a book in Rokumari, Business English and Pronunciation. I mean,
Yep.
presentation skills. Yeah, pronunciation. Of course, it is important to develop your pronunciation. When you talk, if you want to impress people through your talk, I mean, everyone can express, but within that 1 minute expression, if you want to impress people, I do
Mm.
not become impressed so easily. So if you want to impress, you need to have certain things, that extra things. Of course, your pronunciation matters. It's a good thing. Yes, I have seen your writing over there. Wonderful write up. I mean, the comment you have written. So that was grammatically correct. So you do have English language competency, proficiency. So if you can develop your pronunciation as well with this one, you can rock. You can rock as a teacher, as a speaker as well. Of course. So how
Yeah.
can we develop our pronunciation skill? I can still remember in my early days, I mean, when I was a student of Dhaka University, we did not have YouTube, we did not have internet, we did not have Facebook. I mean, the first thing I mean, 2004-5. So we did not have this thing. So what I did, I went to Gulistan. I bought a radio, and in 100 megahertz, I used to listen
BBC.
the BBC a lot. So I did not have
Yes.
other fancy materials these days you do have. So materials are
Yeah.
here. If you search on YouTube that you want to
Mhm.
develop your pronunciation, thousands of materials are there. So spend your time. Start from the beginning. First challenge is to identify the right challenge. Do that. Yes, search with my name as well, Jamaluddin Jami. I uploaded some class of my pronunciation. So start from ABC, then phonemes, I mean the
Yeah.
IP symbols. So start from there,
Mhm.
you will be able to develop. So start today.
Mhm.
Of course, it is not possible to learn overnight, but it will take time. Of course, as you are English teacher and you do have a platform to talk, you can.
Yeah. Excellent. Yeah.
Yeah.
So Ishita, back
Yes.
to you
Nice.
again.
Yes. So yes, I got another nice question from Shohak. He said that any advice for introverts for speak freely in public? Okay, over
Of
to
course.
Yeah.
Jan.
Back, first, Jami. Then I'll add something.
uh, uh, yes, for me, when I gave my first MBTI, I found myself introvert. And I can give
Okay.
one example from my life. When I was a student of class 8 or 9, one day my younger sister brought her friend, I mean classmate, to my house. And that lady, I mean that girl asked me several times, greeted me, salam, and asked my name. I mean, asked me, how are you? In front of my parents, and I was so introvert that I couldn't utter a single word in front of her. But these days I'm giving talk, though my wife claims that credit goes to her, because after getting married I became extrovert. Yes, I mean, if you want, this is not extrovert or introvert, as Barifai mentioned. Thank you very
Yeah.
much for I
Mhm.
wrote it down. Hopefully, in future, I'll be using these terms as well.
Yes.
So, extroversion, introversion. Thank you very much. I
Introversion.
learned
Yeah.
it. So,
Mhm.
that's the thing. If you want, you can. Just you need a platform on a regular basis. I mean, no one is pushing you to talk. That's the main challenge ultimately. And this is the only one barrier we do have. We do not have any place to talk. And if it comes to English language, we do not have a single place to talk, because you cannot go out and ask a rickshaw puller, Mama, I would like to go to Kalabagan. Will you go with me? You cannot answer. You cannot ask a shopkeeper, Mama, what's the price of this potato? You cannot ask.
Mhm.
That's a problem.
Mhm.
So we cannot
Yeah.
practice because we are non-native. We are in a country where we cannot speak this thing.
Mhm.
But
Yeah.
if you have that platform, you can, of course.
Exactly.
Parifai.
And actually, I just add to like to add here. The first thing is like it is now online time, and it is the platform we are actually presenting in front of you, the International Youth Summit. And you know that we have so many groups are now actually they are having the interaction meeting, and people from different countries are joining those groups. So this is an excellent platform. You can join from anywhere, and you can share and express and talk. In a typical meeting, I found that some people are talking, some people are remain inactive. So it is not actually you are using your time properly. You must get engaged, and you at least try to say something. Sometimes also we don't allow you to talk, but at least 1 minute, 2 minutes in any platform, try to speak. The more you can speak, the more you can actually improve yourself. So the speaking is the main thing, whether you are introversion or extroversion. The speaking is the important. But because I see like Ishita from 9 years, and I try to help her. Like when the first time I must like to share this experience with her. Like when she stand for the first time on the audience, in front of the audience in Nepal to speak, and she cannot speak because she was having the difficulties. And this is what, like, even though she is a very good speaker, so sometimes it's happened. But over the time, after practicing and practicing and practicing and practicing, she actually overcome all these things. And now we can see in front of the 1,000 people or 1,000 people, she is now rocking. So this is very important, that the practice actually make change everyone. So whether you are introversion or extroversion doesn't matter. It is depends on totally your practice. Thank you, Ishita. Next question, back to you.
Okay, thank you so much. So before taking the next question, it's time to disclose the third digit. Okay, so dear audience, so the third digit is 5. Okay, Write it down. The 5 digit is 5. Sorry, the third digit is 5. But don't share in the comment box, please. Don't share. Okay. So we are moving to the
I
next.
want to pick this question. Yeah.
Okay.
You just said,
So
yeah.
yeah, how to make proper eye contact, please. Okay. So look at
Okay,
like
can I
this.
just let's give let's give Ishita to chance to answer this question.
No,
Yes.
no, no. I want to pass it to Jami Bhaiya.
No,
Because
no, no.
Bhaiya, would you like to share now or would you like to share this one with those tips later on? So that
Now,
I can.
Baribhai wanted to answer this question, Baribhai, right?
Okay, sure. Sure.
Okay, if
Okay.
so you okay, thank you so much. So the eye contact is very important. I found that many people are actually not comfortable doing the eye contact. So um, this is why the very simple thing that in an audience you can have a triangle. You make a triangle in the audience, in front of the audience. You make a triangle so that straightforward, that's your 1 point. Then on your left side is 1 point and your right side is 1 point. And then reverse the triangle. Then back there is 2 point, and just in front of you there's 1 point. So you have a two triangle, just is on the top. One is pointing that side, other is pointing towards your side, the point of the triangle. So you, when you have the concentration of the eye contact problem that you cannot see when you are not actually that much expert, you cross your eyes always, first the left and then go to the right and then go to the point straight forward, and again back to the first point and then right and left. So that's the way people will think. This is the technique that people will think that you are actually covering the whole auditorium or whole audience, whatever the number of audience. Always make that it's a triangle thing. You have to make the triangle so that the point one, first one, and then left and right, and then the point towards you first, and then the back, left and right. So that's the way you just switch your eyes, and then it will easily, people will be like amazed that they will see that you have a very good eye contact. So the eye contact thing is very another important tools. Please do write down body language, word, toning, practice, eye contact. What else? One thing we shared, Jami. I just forget about one thing. Um,
Pace, pitch, pause,
Page. Yeah,
meaningful pause.
yeah, something like so. Write it down. These are all combined to have a very
Yeah,
excellent.
I'm gonna cover.
Yes,
I'm gonna
yes,
cover
please.
one
Yeah.
by
Oh,
one.
okay, okay.
They
Sure,
do.
sure, sure.
They do have. Okay, fine.
Okay.
Have you finished?
Yeah, I finished. Thank you.
Okay, fine. People, those who are here, yeah. One, I'm going to share a few important tips of public speaking. Yes, you do have some questions, and we are really here to answer all the questions. So let's start. If consider this next 5 minutes as a training room, and I'm going to train you uh, practically. First thing, like what about the talk? I mean, that might be 5 minutes, 10 minutes, or 1 hour. So divide your whole talk in three parts. Number one, intro. So intro means not only traditional intro, talking about yourself, introducing yourself, not like that. If you go to any political program, you will find that, okay, leaders are coming, they are introducing all the political leaders and blah, 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 blah for 5 minutes, and they're giving actual lecture for 30 seconds, and they're finishing with another 5 minutes. I mean, there is nothing there. That should not be. So how can we make our presentation of public speaking more constructive? Yes, divide in three parts. Number one, intro, but that should be engaging intro, attractive intro, so that within 30 seconds in the beginning you can get your attention. You know, these days people are so busy with their personal life, social life, even they are busy with their social media. Like, if you do not have that capability to attract them within 30 seconds, they will start chatting and taking
Yeah.
pictures. I mean, busy with themselves, with their device. But you, it is not their fault, it is your fault as a speaker. That means you failed, you miserably failed to engage them, to attack them, to create that just to create that momentum that they should listen to you. So in the beginning,
Yes.
that engaging intro, attractive intro should be there. So how can we create that engaging intro? Yes, that is a long question. I mean long answer. There are some answers, like somebody says, okay, you need to ask questions. If you can ask questions, you need to hook people. So hooking is there, asking question is there. You can share your story. I mean, there are a lot of things you can start your
Yeah.
presentation for public speaking. So second thing, you must have good body. So inside your body, you need to have certain stories. You need to make stage crafting. Yes, the non-verbal part, very important. The first thing, you need to have eye contact. Already Baribhai mentioned how can you use your eye contact. You need to be more expressive, like hand gesture. So the way
Mm.
you use hands, the way, I mean, the expressions, facial expressions, smiling face, everything matters. So these things
Yes.
are important. And stage crafting, wonderful thing. What is that stage crafting? What happens when you deliver a speech in real life, not virtual one? We go behind the podium so that our body cannot be seen. That should not be. Just come out that podium, be open so that your power can be disseminated among your audience. So I mean, your power should be disseminated from your body,
Mm.
from your body language, expressions, movement. Stage crafting, like you are giving a 5 minute or 7 minute speech, dividing your stage in three parts. Like I can give you one example from Bill Gates. One day Bill Gates gave a speech, and he used certain points on the floor. So after the session, his private secretary was asked that why did he use some notes on the floor. Then he said that, okay, Bill Gates pointed some headlines over there, that which
Yeah.
story, which finding should be shared from which part of the stage. That means that is more engaging. So if you can
Engaging.
divide
Yeah.
your stage in three parts, I mean, human eye can cover what's a vision degree, cannot cover a whole bunch of auditorium. But if you can use different part of your stage, walk and give a talk, like you start from left part and you finish a point, you come to the middle, start sharing certain things, and you finish that point, go to the right part. Like this, if you can walk and talk, that engage your audience more. And few more things that I wanted to share with you, I mean, with that. And finally, conclusion that should be, I mean, very one sentence message. I mean, we conclude random, no, not random conclusion. I mean, that should be your conclusion must have a take out nugget for your audience that they will remember. They will take your conclusion, I mean, your message to their with them later on for using. There are certain other things that disseminating stage power. How can you do so? You can work with your vocal variety, voice modulation,
Yeah.
pace. The pace you are using, that is important. Already we have mentioned eye contact, voice modulation, gesture. You need to be expressive gesture, body language. You need to be really careful about your body language, posture, the way you stand, the way you sit.
Standing.
See,
Yeah.
even in online, I have wear this
Mm.
blazer. See, Bari Bhai, he is much more formal because we are in a forum where we're giving a
Yeah.
talk in front of professional people. So I have used in a table, chair, not in a casual manner. So that is important. Like the way you sit, the way you stand, that is matter. We call it
Matter. Yeah.
posture. And the way you use hands, movements, and other thing, we call it gesture. So these are important part while giving your presentation. And
Presentation.
there are certain magical phrases, we call it speech transitions. I mean, from intro to body, body to conclusion, inside your body, when you share some stories, some examples, some statistics, data. So you need to do research, not only googling that topic. Yes, we do google, you should do
Mm.
google, but read more, study more, write
Yeah.
something on that topic so you can prepare more on that topic and deliver a very good speech. I have taken much time, more than 5 minutes, right? I'm
No,
sorry
no,
No,
for
it's
that.
it's
okay.
okay. No,
Fantastic.
it's
Fantastic.
okay.
Excellent.
It was great.
Because
Go ahead.
Excellent.
monotonous
Excellent.
lecture should not be there in the beginning. I did have slides. I did have slides on mastering presentation, but I did not use. You know why? Because I wanted to interact with you people. I wanted to
Yes.
interact with
Exactly.
Bari Bhai. He is my
Yeah.
mentor, so I wanted to learn something from his as well. And beautiful our Ishita today.
Zanatun
So
Ishita. Yes.
yeah, of course, if I shared that, I mean, slides, I mean, that interaction will not be there. That is why
Exactly.
without sharing slides, just we are talking. Okay, fine. You can go for the questions and other
I
things.
just like to add one thing.
Yeah,
Like
sure.
in every presentation, in every training session, I do have slide, but I have everything in my mind so that in my training session, actually, I engage with the audience, and which is very important rather than just talking about the slide. And in the slide, I just put only the keywords or the cue words that mean that those give me the cue what I'm going to say next. So this is very important that you should not write the script sentence by sentence or word by word. You have just keywords so that you have in your hand 5 or 6, 7 or 8. And but before that, public speaking for everyone, please do have the professional training. Of course, you can have some audios or videos or books, that's are important. But at this moment, for the public speaking, you must take from your country you choose, because you are from different country. I saw in African countries people are here, from India, Nepal, Bangladesh, and some other countries also uh, presented here. So you just choose someone professional and take some professional course. This will, and if not possible, then you must practice and make a team, make a group who will not going to judge you but give you a positive, informative feedback. These are very important. So the more you practice, this will help. And having said that, actually, Jamil, you remember this, remind me these things. And this is also I transfer to Ishida that, um, listen BBC. This is one important thing. The more you have the BBC, then you are listening and your presentation will improve. So 100 megahertz FM, or yeah, these are actually, yeah, these are memories actually that we in our time we don't have the Facebook, we don't have the YouTube, anything, but we try. So you have to be passionate. If you really commit to become a superstar public speaker, this is a kind of commitment. You must have the commitment, and then you can actually work on that. And everything initially is always hard. Everything initially always hard, but once you adopt this, everything will be good. So back to you, Ishida.
Okay,
Can you add
thank you
something?
so
Can
much.
you add something? Just add something so that I think the audience will also get some information from your side. Yes.
Yeah,
Yeah. Add something.
definitely. The thing is, whatever the skills you want to improve, definitely you should do practice. And beside that, obviously, if you feel that you need to take the help from the professionals, you should go for that. As we said, that the way Jami Bhai improved himself, and as way he is also trying to help others to improve themselves. So
Yeah.
with the connection of that, it is time to listen some personal story from Jami Bhaiya, as I got a beautiful question from one audience. The question from Zanatul, she said that when you start to practice for become a public speaker, or when you feel that you need to achieve this skill. So we really love
Very good.
to
Yeah.
have to some personal story from you, Bhaiya, if you like to share with our audience.
Actually, for public speaking, that was, I mean, for student life, I was engaged, but
Mm.
professionally, I became this kind of career coach, or I started giving talk in front of the audience. That was an incident. Incident occurred first time. I mean, as I was the career counselor of at a university, so I received an invitation to give a talk at Rover Scout. So 6,000 participants were there. I prepared in Dhaka for 1 month. I prepared slides and other things, read books. But when I didn't have any idea about Robot Scout. When I went there for the first time, I saw, my goodness, I expected the AC auditorium and other things. Oh my goodness. After I went there, I found that, oh, open field. Even in my first day, I
Yeah.
had to cover 2,000 participants without microphone. So I divided them in 200, 200. I mean, there are 10 groups, and I gave talk. So after covering 6,000 participants in 3 days, uh, I realized after my each session, a lot of students came to me. I was there to train them about their career goal settings, future, and other things. But the shocking thing, they do not have any idea about the goal setting. They do not have idea about the future job market. I'm not talking about the students from Dhaka based, those who are privileged. I'm talking about those who are from rural villages. I mean, students from madrasa, students from polytechnical, students from degree colleges. So they did not
Mm.
have that idea about that. So after coming back to Dhaka, I got that realization that we are busy with the privileged people, but let's start doing something for them. So I started this platform, Career Coach, and I started this journey. So within that 3 years, I have visited most of the divisions of Bangladesh. I have visited most of the public universities. I gave talk. I tried my level best, not for business. I did not make much money. Even most of the time, I had to buy, because they did not have that budget to give me the air ticket. So I had to buy my own air ticket, and I went there. I gave talk. So what happened? That's a kind of inner feelings from inside me. I read an article from I study was conducted by British Council Economic Intelligence Unit and with the help from World Bank. It says that 47% Bangladeshi graduates are unemployed. If you consider the case for Sri Lanka, that is only 7%. If you go to India, that is only 30%. But here for Bangladesh, 47%. Near half of the graduates are unemployed. In 2017, there was a viral, in social media, especially when an article was published in Delhi-based newspaper, that Bangladesh became fourth remittance generation source for India. So if you combine all these things, like 47% Bangladeshi people are unemployed, they're not getting a job. Half of the people. On the other hand, Bangladesh became fourth remittance generation source for India. If you go to textile industry, that a lot of foreigners, people from China, Sri Lanka, Nepal, India. I'm not against these people, but the thing is, what Bangladeshi people are not getting job, but these people are working in Bangladesh. So what is the problem? As I work as a career counselor of a university, so I do have very good relationship with HR community. So I asked them the question. They said that, okay, we need competent people. We need people who can really competent, who can really work as a merchandiser in sales in international market. But we are not getting people, skilled people, competent people. That is where we are hiring people from India. We are hiring people from Sri Lanka, Philippines, China. So the challenge is there. Then I thought, okay, let's work to make our people competent, to work for them. So just I spread that news. Okay, be competent, try to learn certain things. So in after this pandemic period, the world is going to become more challenging. Like the world we saw 6 months back, and right now the world, two different worlds. Because you need to be acquainted with some other things. Like, though that topic today is not, we shouldn't cover this topic, that is different part. But as a public speaker, I must say that you need to be competent. You need to be skilled enough to survive in the future. So I shouldn't talk
Yes.
much on career-related
Yeah,
topics.
no, it's okay, Jami. Thank you so much for adding this thing, because I would just like to say to everyone that everyone now watching and who will watch later on, please do remember that we are going to launch a very much holistic approach of a training that we call Tomorrow's CEO program. We already have one, this kind of program is called Future CEO, which is we already introduced in the corporate world. But this is for the Tomorrow's CEO is for the students or who are now just recently graduate or going to be graduate or still in a student stage. So in that Tomorrow's CEO program, we actually add the communication in English. So this is very important that we are not going to teach you the ABCD of the English. We are just give you the like the platform so that you can actually improve your public speaking. Because if if you don't have the public speaking capability or the skill, you will not be able to get a very good job. Or if you have a good job, you're not going to get a promotion. If you have it will be very difficult. So please do consider this is a very important skill, and this skill need a professional guideline. That like Jami is a very professional here. So whoever actually join in the overseas or here, actually you can use this platform to connect. We can also welcome Jami several times, so that through that program you actually can connect with him and actually take the real learning. Because he is not only a public speaker, he's an international certified speaker, and also he has a NLP experience. So you is certified trainer, as also practitioner. So he will be the one of the best trainer for you all. So I'm requesting everyone to focus on this area, that public speaking is very important for your career. It's just not an element to or fame thing. It's very essential element. Thank you. Back to you, Ishida.
Yes, okay. Thank you. Before taking the another question, I would like to disclose the last digit for today's session's gift. So the last
Yep.
digit is 2.
Okay.
Dear audience,
Yeah.
the last digit is
Two.
2. So we have already disclosed all the digits. So keep 4 digits with you. And whenever we are sharing the Google Form link, you just need to put all 4 digits over there to claim your gift. Okay. So I got another beautiful question. The question from Abhijit. He said that I can approach anything in English in writing by myself. But when I go through to speak English with others, I can't express anything by myself. What should I do? Over to Jamify.
Yes, I have been talking about this thing again and again, that you need to practice. So, what are the places where you can practice? If you go to a coach or trainer, yeah, that is costly. If you come to Toastmaster International, yes, that is cheap but costly. There are some free platforms. I can give an example from one of my students. She completed her graduation from English language, English department, but still she had problems regarding making sentences and speaking in front of people. Then I introduced her with some English speaking groups in Facebook, so where she chatted a lot, she recorded her voice and she delivered. And there are some groups where she came on live and gave talk. So through this process, I found that after 6 months she developed. The thing is how much time you are giving to
Yes.
develop your public speaking or your English speaking. So, if we look at our curriculum, that we do have 14 years or 13 years of English language in our, syllabus, still we struggle here. Why do we do so? Because we do not practice, we do not talk. Now be serious, start practicing. Whatever the platform you have, that doesn't matter, but start, take the blessings. Yes, I do have a lot of students, those who ask me, they come to me, they do our course. So in first day I say one thing, that okay, come on, it's not possible for me to make you master in English language within 2 months, but I can give you the initial points. That can be, the course can be the beginning for you, starting point for you. But if you can take all the advice and if you start practicing tomorrow, so that's a kind of beginning, and it's a cumulative process. Like if you can practice 2 years, 1 year, 6 months, of course you'll be able to start speaking in English language.
Yes.
Excellent.
Okay.
Yeah.
Thank
So
you.
may I just
Yeah.
add again? I just
Sure,
like to
sure.
add, Ishita. Just adding
Yeah,
one
sure.
thing, that please do remember that without practicing, you cannot actually overcome whatever the technique tools we are giving. It's okay, but you have to practice that every single day if you want to become a real public speaker. So I would like to just share how I become that trainer or speaker. Uh, I become the national champion. So as a national champion now, the Ministry of Science decided me to go to different college and motivate them to participate in different competitions. So then I have to speak in front of 500 people, 600 people. Then I realized that I need to actually improve myself so that I can present myself in front of other people, which is in my school and college year. So this is what that you have to take everything very passionately and professionally. Just not to say that, oh, I can speak, I just write down in your Facebook status, I'm a public speaker. No, you have to take it very seriously if you want to, and we do want that you become public speaker, trust me, but not necessary that you have to be a stage presenter. Public speaker, that it will help you in developing your career. Having this skill is very important, but without practice you cannot able to achieve this thing. And we are surely we are going to add some more tips, or you already finish. Jami, you are having a,
Yeah,
you're gonna share something, right? Because we're
exactly.
going to share another 15 minutes. Yeah.
Okay, yeah.
So
Yeah.
okay, Zanatul. Yeah.
Yes.
You have any?
Uh, yes. I think
I got
as we are already
one question for Jami. This one.
okay. She had that question regarding the first part, like how did Paya start it? Okay, so now she is asking like what kind of barrier you faced when you go for talk to the universities.
Oh no, I haven't faced any barrier because the universities invited me. Universities invited me, and I went there to talk,
But
and I
what
talked.
is the struggle? What is the first struggle? Okay, when you just become a speaker, or would you like to would you like to share when you are early stage
Oh,
of the
okay.
public
Fine,
speaker?
fine, fine. That's the important thing. Yeah, of course. You shouldn't think that I came and I started speaking like this. No, no, of course not. Of course
Yeah.
not. I
Yeah.
can still remember the first day I got invited. I was invited to debate club in DUDS, Dhaka University Debating Society. So first day I was there, someone picked me, and I didn't have an
Okay.
idea that if you participate there, you need to talk. So suddenly I needed to register, and the announcer announced my name. I went there. I couldn't talk, I utter a single word. I couldn't utter a single word, even in Bangla. So the second day when I went there, just I gave, thank you very much, Mr. Speaker. That was the line. I couldn't finish it. So that was the starting point. I mean, initial days, you might not have that much rhythm or fluency while speaking. But if you can continue, of course, you'll be able to develop. Even in Toastmasters, like it's been 1 year and last year I joined in Toastmasters. The first day when I gave my icebreaker speech, there are some, I mean, evaluators. So one of the evaluators, we called it grammarian, R counter, timer. So R counter submitted the report that I made 28 times R's, in my speech. Today I'm talking, you may count, the number has been reduced, of course. So these days I do not make that many R's, so's, not
Yeah.
many.
Yeah.
So I have improved. I have been improving, of course. Still, I'm learning. I'm
Mm.
improving.
Hmm. Great.
Yes, exactly.
Okay, as we are almost near to the end
No,
of
now
this
I would
program,
like to.
yeah.
Sorry, I know
Would you
you are
like to
going to
add
finish.
something?
Yeah, yeah, but
Yeah.
I want to know your experience, Ishida, because yeah, you have to share some of your experience because you have presented so many stage.
Okay. For me, if you ask me, as you already mentioned, that yes, I am an intro person, and definitely still I have that inside me, and I'm kind of introvert. And when I started to work, it was like kind of I was really shy, and I was not that much confident to talk in front of people, even it is one-to-one discussion or it's a meeting with a group, a small group of people. But the moment when I decided or I set my goals, so yes, I want to change myself, or I want that transformation. So what Jami Bhaiya told, that yes, I started to work on it like that way, and it was really a great fear for me. I used to practice at home, even in front of mirror, because when I started, I was a student that time. So the fear was basically for the presentation as well during that time. So I tried and I started practice for all those things, and gradually, yes, it's overcome. And when I started the voluntary work here, as I mentioned in previous sessions earlier, lots of time. So
Mm-hmm.
for the voluntary work, when we used to go for the meeting, it could be any like the head of the organization, might be the CEO or AMD, or maybe the vice chancellor of any university. So that time definitely it was another fear, how as just a student, how I can go there and approach and communicate. But gradually when we started and doing the practice, and that fear overcome gradually. And definitely now, yes, still I'm learning. I won't say that I'm a pro or something at this moment. Then started to take the training, started to work with the youth group, and gradually that fear overcome. And now, yes, it's bit comfortable for me to talk in front of the people, and it's not that fear doesn't work now at this time. Yeah, this is what
Yeah,
the thing. Like, yes, definitely we have to do the practice if we want to improve ourselves. Yes.
exactly,
Okay.
exactly. So, do you have any question? Like you select any question at this moment, or can I
No,
pop
I'm
up
not
one?
going to take that question. I would like to ask Jami Bhaiya this time to, like, as we
Yeah,
kept the tips for the end, because we are just running out
yeah,
of the time. So I want to
hmm
give the much time to our guest so that he can
yeah.
share those tips with our audience, because we got lots of questions regarding to that, how to overcome that glossophobia. So if Bhaiya can mention about all those tips, that will be great.
Fine. How many of you watched the movie Piku?
Hmm.
Piku, you? So, do you know
Yes.
the tagline of that Piku?
The
Motion se hi emotion.
emotion sahi emotion, yeah.
Motion se hi emotion. So that
Yeah,
is a wonderful thing. Motion se hi emotion. Like if your physiological change will lead your psychological change.
emotions. Yeah,
Wonderful thing. Like yeah, the problem was with Amitabh Bachchan, and that motion changing the motion changed his emotion and other things. Okay, like in public speaking, what happens when we just in front of the audience before we talk? A lot of things work in our mind. That okay, there are people in front of me with their guns or other things. If I fail, what will they think? If I cannot make a proper introduction, what will they think? If I do some mistakes, of course they will be charging me a lot of questions. I mean, all the negative thoughts are man-made thought, not the real ones. Okay, so what you
Yes.
can, yes, that motion say emotion, you need to change your physiological condition. Like if you are sitting, I would like to request you go to the washroom and do certain things like paki paka pepe paki paka pepe, or this kind of thing, pita paper paka pick of paper. So I mean, if you do this kind of uh, gargling, or I mean a kind of physiological change, if you
Yes.
drink water, if you can, I mean, uh, yes, you have seen Tony Robbins. When he starts any session, what he does, especially in training days, in the morning, he does his gym, he does swimming, and while it's entering the room, huge music,
Jump.
he
Yeah.
just jumps and comes, enters the room and engages the audience. The same thing for you. I mean, if you are engaged, if your physiological condition, I mean, in that case, okay, you are nervous, we are nervous, we should be nervous. And nervous, being nervous is very important thing, because you are serious about your good performance. Okay, the positive thing, I mean, you need to be nervous to perform better. So we all are nervous. What we can do, we can technically divert the situation, like change your physiological condition. That will that will change your psychological condition. You will feel that you are not thinking about your performance. Rather, okay, if you are really negative, in that case you remove all the negative thoughts, start thinking positive. We say it, okay, start thinking, I mean, start seeing the end, that people are giving you good comments, that you are performing better, they are giving you claps, this kind of thing. Okay, the best practice already I shared with you, that to remove all the negative things, the best practice to overcome your glossophobia is to practice, practice, and practice. Once you rehearse more, you practice, you know your contents, you will see that you are not that much nervous. Okay, as a public speaker, we do have that nervousness before you start. When we are sitting there, in that case, I would recommend go to washroom, do some homework, start working with your tongue twist and other things, do some practice with your eye contact, tongue, lips, so do some muscle practice, so that
Yeah.
works a lot, and come back the auditorium, you will perform better. Okay, so again, you can use these three tips, of course, that may work to become a good public speaker, to overcome your glossophobia and inertia as well.
Yeah.
But
May I
best thing,
just may I, yeah.
practice, please.
Yeah, yes, sure. So the practice is no doubt about this thing. This is very important. And another thing is to just to when you stand like in front of like you, sometimes people you have the nervousness, so you become stiff. So breathing is also important, which is definitely is part is breathing. That we always tell about the breathing is very important. Having the deep breath will give you so many oxygen so that your brain will activate and you actually change. So it's not that you go to the toilet for just only you also go to the toilet or some place and have the breathing even
Take
um,
deep breath. Yeah.
deep breath, yes. And I can remember that in a big audience of the senior, all the CFO are there. I have to present myself, and I know that I have to nail it because if I nail it, I will get the business. And I did the business, but I was so nervous, and but I would just take some in a green room, and I just breathe myself. I know I can do it. All the positivity, and I just start believing that when I finish, everyone will laugh. And you would just clap at me, and they'll say just excellent. So it is kind of like seeing the vision, seeing something which will you feel that yes, after my speech, people will come and they will appreciate what I'm saying say to them. So this will actually stimulate your nerve, and this will give you energy that yes, you can do it. So those things are very important. So when you combine all these things, and no doubt, I think before saying that, I said several times is practicing, 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 because the more you practice, all these tools we have shared with you today, and then you see the end result. That's the beautiful presentation. So science is that the tools are the science, and the arts is when you see that you are presenting a very fantastic session. and that's the pleasure you have. So thank you so much. And there's one question I think is very important. I'm just adding something, and I request also Jami to say something. When you don't have any answer of any question, when you are saying that you are really don't know, you can admit that actually I don't know. Can I get back to you some other time, or it is not relevant something. If it is not relevant to you, you can say thank you for good question, but I don't know the answer. But if you allow me some time, I can present in some other days. So admit this is rather than arguing that it is not in my topic, so you should not ask me these things. So it is not the right way. And if you don't want to answer anything, you just simply give a beautiful smile. This is my technique. If you don't know the answer, just give a smile and always say, I understand, or yeah, it is a very good question. It is a very good question. So something like that, smile and understand. I understand. It's a very good question. And then you will say like answer. Say, sorry, it's not my time limit. I'm not able to answer. Maybe we can discuss after this session. We can discuss, and it because it's not relevant. So something like that. But you have to give a smile face. It should not be cross. Okay, this is my way of some suggestion. Jami, if you like to add something.
Here with this question.
Yeah, with this question, like when you have no answer for any question,
Yeah,
how to handle it.
the same answer. I mean, the answer you have made, that is the only answer here, because you cannot be master on everything. I cannot be master on everything. There are a lot of things that
Mm.
I do not know. So admitting these things is, I mean, it's very natural, of course. But giving false answer, misleading answer, that
Yeah,
will
yeah.
ruin your future. You shouldn't do that.
Hmm.
Yes.
Yeah,
Okay, thank you.
back
Thank
to
you so
Ishita.
much.
Yeah.
Yes. So now it's time for the closing remarks. First of all, I would like to request Mr. Jamie to share the closing remarks for today's session, or some
Okay.
end
Yeah. Sure.
message for our lovely audience.
Sure. Yeah, before I do my end message, I would like to sell myself. Fine.
Sure.
Those who a lot of questions I can see that how can we add? Yes, I'm on
Yes.
Facebook. I do have a Facebook page. Uh, you can follow me. You can be connected there. I do have a YouTube channel. You can subscribe there. A lot of education videos are there. You can do so.
Yeah.
Yes, I'm on LinkedIn, of course. If you want to become professionally connected with me, let's be connected in LinkedIn. That's the best idea to be connected. I do have some books. If you really develop your professional skills, I have written some books. You can collect it from Rockamari. Anywhere you can order, even from outside of Bangladesh, you can order there. So business English and presentation skills, communication skills, presentation skills, and my best one is coming in next February. That is Express to Impress. So hopefully a lot of people will be waiting. Yes, I am really excited about that Express to Impress. Even I have given the title of this program today, Express to Impress with my book, because I'm doing this marketing well ahead. Even I'm giving talk wherever I'm going. Yes, with this title, Express to Impress. My book is coming in next book fair in February. I'm super excited. You can collect that one as well. So be connected with that one. And I'd like to
Yeah.
add one note. I love watching movies. And one of my favorite movies is Kung Fu Panda. I believe you have watched Kung Fu Panda. Yes, I love
Yes.
it. And
Yeah.
I try to collect things from these movies, stories,
Yes.
good lessons. And important, I mean, from Kung Fu Panda 2, that one advice that motivated me a lot. Your story may not have a happy beginning, but that doesn't make who you are. It is the
Yes.
rest of your story, who you choose to be. That is important. Before pandemic, we were habituated with certain things, but after pandemic, the new demands are coming. I might not be able to fulfill all the demands, but that doesn't make my future destiny. I should not be silent, and I do not have any option to be silent and to be demotivated that I do not know. Still, my next few months will determine that where I want to be. So those who are watching us today, I would like to request you, be skilled, do some courses, analyze the situation, prepare yourself, take massive actions from today. Yes, English language, your presentation skills, the way you negotiate, the way you communicate, it matters. It matters a lot. A study was conducted by Harvard University and Stanford Research Center. It says that 85% of your career success depends on people skill or soft skill. And the
Yeah.
mother of people skill is called the communication. I mean, the way we
Communications. Yeah.
communicate with people, the way we present, the way we negotiate, the way we lead a team. So these are important things. So if you can communicate well, if you can express well, of course you can impress. Impress your boss, you can impress your communication, impress whoever we want. Even you can impress your wife as well to be, I mean, to have a good family relationship. So that is important, of course.
Yeah.
Communication is important. Express to impress is important. So with that note, of course, it doesn't matter what you have, ever you have the, I mean, background you have. So it is you. Your future will depend on the actions you take today. Thank you very much for inviting me as
Thank
well.
you, Jamie.
Thank
Thank you so much. I love it. I love it. Thank you so much. Thank you. Ishita, back to you. Ishita, are you there? Oh, I think Ishita might have some difficulties. She will be back soon. So let me just give my and remarks for this one, because you know that this is very important, that if you take everything like especially the public speaking, this is a very important tool, especially the communication. If we go in a broader sense, the communication is very special tool for your career, for your business, or for anything. So do not overlook this area. This will help you to improve your career destination. So please do focus on these things. It's very important thing. And I just like to add one more thing, that we are going to have the tomorrow CEO program that I already mentioned. That this program is a holistic approach for your career. We are combining all those necessary skills, and there's so many bonus elements are there. I'm sure that you love it. We're going to have a presentation on that. And upcoming next coming on 26th of September, we are having our next training session, which is the tomorrow's sorry the goal setting session. So what I'm saying, that these will help you to change your life, and our sessions are, and our impact session, I'm sure that you are loving the feedback you are giving is fantastic. So remember one thing, that you have to take every possibility to win something. So if you want to become successful in your life, if you want to achieve something, you have to take it passionately. It's just not just okay, these are that, and I don't have time for practice. No, you have to take this very seriously and work on that. When you work on that, you one day become very successful, and never give up, which is very important. That whatever you like to achieve, you must be with that. And once it of course is initially it's always hard, but later on everything will be very easy for you. So anything is hard in the beginning, but later on is everything is very easy for you. So back to you, Ishita. Are you there? uh, I think she's having some trouble. Okay. All right. So I think it's fantastic, and I'll take just one more minute so that I can welcome her to join here. And he's having some network difficulties, but thank you for yes, she is here. I can see her beautiful smile. Okay, yes, she is here. Yes,
Okay,
now
sorry for the
thank you so
technical
much.
difficulties. I hope
Yes,
you have covered. And
yes,
yes, dear audience, we are near to end, and I have already shared the Google Form link in the comment box. I hope you already got that one. So
yep,
please go through the Google Form link and fill in it to claim your gift. Okay. And finally, before ending, I want to say once again thanks to our special guest for giving us the time. Thank you so much, Jami
excellent.
Bhaiya, for
Yami, thank
giving
you
us the
so much.
time. And I saw there was one question. One question regarding the tomorrow CEO. Yes, we are
Yep,
going to launch that program very soon, and definitely anyone who wants to develop their skill, they can join, because there was a question They're asking that is there any barrier or any
No,
qualities needed
you
to
can join from
enroll for
anywhere
that
of the
course.
world.
So
Yeah.
yeah, and it's for the students, it for the graduates, and maybe the job seekers, whoever want to, and even the executives. If you want to join the session, you can enroll for that one. And very soon we will have the session for about on tomorrow's CEO. We will share the
Yes.
details and the information regarding the course. So yes, thank you so much once again, dear audience. And we are really sorry if you missed the code. We can't share the code once again. The
Yeah.
code
Whatever
was
code you have,
only,
just put. Whatever code you have, just put. Yes.
yeah.
Don't worry. Yeah.
So whatever the digit you have collected, you can you can post that one in the Google form. Please just go through the link and you will get the form. Okay, so thank you so much, dear audience, and once again, thanks a lot to our guest for giving us the time. It was definitely a wonderful time, as they shared in the comment box. And hopefully, definitely, we will come back again with another exciting session. Till then, stay safe, stay home. Thank you so much. Thank you, everyone. Bye bye.
Thank you so much.